Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I am Brother Kelly Hughes, Chaplain of the Arts. We are broadcasting from the Valiant Theatre here in Winnipeg's greasy Tenderloin, just around the corner from Old Market Square, where all the Fringe stuff is happening, has happened, will happen, depending on your place in the time-space continuum. This is Kelly Hughes Live Shorts Fringe 2025. Thanks so much for stopping by, whether you are on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, our YouTube channel, or UMFM 101.5. If you happen to be listening to us there, thanks very much for stopping by. Very excited about these guests. Not that the other guests were lousy. They were kind of so-so, but my guests right now are so good. Jim Rolls.
Hi.
Who has got the worst shave of his whole life, and we hope that you can't.
Yeah.
We hope that you can't see that.
I thought it was going to be radio. I had a really good complexion for radio.
You have a great face for radio. Yeah, we love that. Come on. You've heard that a million times.
Oh, of course I have. But I was looking about in the context
of it being true.
Yeah.
And the fabulous.
It's a good thing we're not talking about it. If we don't talk about it, no one will notice.
Exactly. Yeah.
And the fabulous Penny Ashton. Hi, Penny.
Kia ora.
Who is showing so much less cleavage than she is here. But, that's...
All of the tits.
Was that hard or easy to do that? Or was it just...
one day I'll write a show where I'm not wearing a corset.
Yeah.
But that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's exciting.
Somebody came to my show 3 times in the first year in 2007, and then I found out it was Hot Pink Bits, which was about the history of the sex industry. And then he told me he had a corset fetish after the 3rd time. I was like, I'm not sure how I feel about this, but yet they're out there and up there. So,
Yeah. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Fetishes are fine.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what the show was about. So, yeah.
Yeah. I don't like anybody calling me daddy, but that's just my,
That's not your safe word?
They have got, is this a brand new show?
To Canada, yes. But it's been going for 2 years.
To Canada Years, which is a baby show.
No. It's new to Canada.
Oh, new to Canada.
Yeah, but New Zealand 2 shows. 2 years.
The Tempestuous, a shrewd new comedy by Will Shakespeare and Penny Ashton, and that is happening at Main Stage, John Hirsch Main Stage. And this is very confusing. 1607. What day did you open on?
Why is that confusing?
Oh, just because I don't.
Oh, the 16th.
The 16th.
That's
Wednesday.
So this opens on Wednesday.
Yep.
Jim Rolls Adventures in Canadian Parking Lots.
Yeah, worst title I could think of.
Well, you know what?
I'm growing into it.
How about just Jim Rolls recites the phone book?
Okay.
We would all show up for that.
Of course we would.
I think, seeing I spent a very, very long time writing my show.
Right, yes.
Yeah.
I think it's a good title.
As long as anyone. Adventures in Canadian Parking Lots. And when I was saying it, I was thinking of parking lots in the Exchange. The one next to the King's Head, one around the MTC. In my mind, I was in the Cardamom Mountains in Cambodia. That's where my head was transported to.
And as soon as he posted on Facebook, I put a picture of exactly us in 2007 in that very car park. So, yeah.
That is opens on the 17th at the Planetarium.
Yeah.
Both at 7:45 for our opening.
Oh,
that's nice.
Isn't that nice? Isn't it?
Now, this is Jim's 57th Winnipeg Fringe.
Yeah.
My 8th.
Your 8th. But you haven't been here for
8 years.
8 years.
8 years.
What happened?
Pesky little pandemic. Yeah, this is my first year touring out of New Zealand since the pandemic.
Okay.
Because New Zealand did well. So for 2020 and 2021, we were business as usual, basically, in New Zealand.
You kept it out,
yeah,
right?
So
You kept the pandemic out.
We did. And we immediately squished Delta, too. One of the only countries that actually eradicated Delta. And then Omicron came sweeping through, and we're all fucked. But I toured around New Zealand a lot in that time, and I actually consolidated my touring networks in New Zealand, which has much lower expenses, as you'd be surprised. But I missed everybody.
A friend of ours was in New Zealand recently, and they got a speeding ticket, and it was like $30 or something.
Yeah,
like it was nothing.
It is ridiculous. Some of the cheap ones.
It's like here you get a ticket. It's like $300. Not necessarily. I don't know how much. Well, no, I know a person who got a speeding ticket for $300.
$30 is less than 10Ks.
Yeah,
over the limit.
But apparently there's no leeway. right? Like
no, there is.
There is a little
but
bit.
I did get one recently at 11 o'clock at night in a tiny town on a wide street. I'd driven for 5 hours, tech for 5 hours, done a 90-minute show. I was going home. Like, what stupid idiot did that schedule? Me. And he was like, is there any reason you're going at 68 kilometers an hour? Oh, no, 58 kilometers an hour. And I just felt like saying, fuck off. But I was like, I'm sorry, officer. so I'm just really tired and want to go to bed.
58 kilometers is not fast. I mean, that's like how fast they go down the back lane.
And that's what I got. I think it was only $30.
Oh, yeah. That is great.
Or 80 often. Anyway,
what a place.
This is fascinating.
We should all move to New Zealand, except they don't want us.
Yeah.
Stay out. Keep your diseases and stay out.
Oh, well, no, we're open now, but we have criteria for immigration like everywhere. Yeah.
Do you think they would let Jem in? Would they like him? Would that be fine?
I mean, you could go for the extraordinary talent visa, obviously.
Sure, is it called that?
Yeah, there is one like that.
Oh, that's amazing.
Well, thank you for mentioning that in the same sentence as my name.
Of course.
And it's never happened before. And I think the pure force of unadulterated poetry might get me through the door.
We need, we have a severe lack of performance poets in New Zealand.
Okay.
It's listed, it's not right next to nurses and doctors.
Yeah, okay.
You have a shortage of vagrants.
They died out shortly after the mower.
Well, that was a very long time ago. But yeah, it would be. You'd have to go through the criteria.
Where are you going this year in Canada?
I'm only doing this one.
Wow.
Because we were going to the UK. My husband Matt, who's performed here a couple of times, Danger Man.
Matt's very funny.
He is very funny.
Yeah.
His parents have been a bit unwell, so we are going to the UK. And I thought, why not do this? See everybody, test this show out in the Canadian market. See if I want to come back next year and do a bigger tour.
Yeah. So see if you like everybody here, or to see if they like you.
See if they like me. I already like Winnipeg, as we've discussed, is a wonderful fringe. It's so friendly. Matt loved it. People were screaming "Danger Man" at him across the street. He said it's the only place he's ever felt like a rock star is Winnipeg. So fans come back. They're very enthusiastic. I mean, fans exist for a start, and I haven't been here for a while, so people might have forgotten who I am.
I have kind of I don't know if you know this, but I have kind of a funny Matt story. It is when Matt at one point was looking for a job, and you posted on Facebook and said, here's. Matt, he can do this and this and this, and he's looking for work. And he was, he was wearing a tux or something. He was dressed all nice. You posted this thing, and I said, I made a joke like I would, this is not what I said, but something like I'd pay to have sex with that guy. Something, you know what I mean? Something sort of
sexual harassment.
Something sort of sick. And I got banned for a month from Facebook. Yeah.
Oh,
because it said I was soliciting. Yeah.
I did not know that.
There's my Matt Harvey story. Yeah, it was just kind of funny because it was just kind of it was funnier. It was funnier when I said it the first time.
Well, once I put a poster of a wedding because I'm a celebrant in New Zealand. And somebody put, because Jacinda Ardern was getting married. Yeah. And someone said, are you doing Jacinda's wedding? And I said, if I tell you that, I have to kill you. Banned. Same thing. Yeah. I'm like, it's an idiom, you idiots. But
It's the AIs which are turning out to be not as great as we thought they were going to be.
My Facebook page got hacked 3 years ago. Hot Pink Penny Ashton. I got made an employee, and they still have not restored me because they said they see no evidence of hacking. The fact that it's a Thai person's name that's in charge of Hot Pink Penny Ashton now, and Penny Ashton is trying to get it changed. So if anybody's with Facebook, make it happen, you morons.
Yeah. What are your brushes with technology, John?
As few as possible, to be honest.
You should have seen him try to put this microphone on.
For commercial reasons and aesthetic reasons, I'm unable to talk about my next project, which is something technological that nobody's ever done in the entire history of the planet. It's an entire new medium of literature. And it's going to involve me doing something very digital online, for which I've got a team has assembled around me, and I have to somehow learn a whole bunch of skills that I do not have.
Is it
one of which would be TikTok?
Oh wow!
No, it's a I don't know how to describe, because I don't want to describe.
Is it holographic OnlyFans?
It's not.
I
Is
feel like
there-
there could be a
is there-
market for
Yeah.
that.
Anyway, so yes,
Is there
I've got.
Jello involved?
I'm sorry to be one of those people in the comments. Oh, I'd like to tell you this, but I can't. But I've just said I'd like to tell you this,
But I can't.
Yes,
Intriguing.
'cause,
I like though how
I
you.
have a digital publisher and a doctor of programming, and me.
Right.
And it's been the first thing I've ever done.
Out of the UK?
I've ever done, no.
Out of here?
I met them, acquired them or they acquired me in Toronto.
Ah.
And so this really means my next 12 months is not going to be my own.
Right.
I like how you
It's
said.
going to take months and months and months.
I like how you
life.
said a team assembled around you, because it made it seem like maybe you were standing on the beach and all these little crabs kind of came up and
Yeah.
It's like
You're just-
Power Rangers or
Yeah.
Transformers.
Okay, that's not how crabs work.
So you're not going to some third world country for 6 months this year?
Well, I don't know what I'm going to do actually. So
Oh.
I suspect this project, which is unlike anything I've ever heard or certainly I've ever done myself, is going to take quite a few months of my life,
Wow.
obviously
Might have to-
beyond Christmas.
You might have to
Once the
spend
tour's
money.
out.
Wow.
But none of which is happening now. Because what's happening now is that I am just, this is these days you're climbing to the top of the rock, the Helter Skelter.
Right.
Are you not? And it's a 9-week slide, which is the Fringe talks.
Oh.
I'm doing, Winnipeg and Saskatoon and Edmonton and Gabriella and Vancouver.
Oh, amazing.
So the idea of getting anything else done on any other project while this is happening is wishful thinking, to be honest. And yes, so I have a line in my show. It's a happy helter skelter down the double helix through the spiral whirlpool of time.
Wow.
And that is the Fringe talk. You've done this. You know what it is.
Yeah.
That's not deep. That's
Oh, well,
actually a metaphor.
I don't know if you remember, Steve Larkin one year wrote tests through all of the Fringes and then learnt it and then debuted it in Victoria. And I think it was 90 minutes, like my show, which is great. Everyone loves a 90-minute show.
They sure do.
But I was like, that is crazy.
It is crazy.
That is crazy.
I don't know how people do that.
Yeah.
It's just so. I mean, it's fantastic, and it's
All
kind of why
consuming.
it's why you do it. But it is all consuming,
Mm.
and the way you're going to get the most out of it is if you plunge into 100%, 150%.
I think so.
Because it's great people, it's great laughs, but it's great a bunch of people you're ever going to meet in your life.
Some of them
And
talk a
the
lot.
performers and the locals and the audience, and you're in this, but there's basically no getting off the roundabout.
Yeah.
Once you start, you can't stop. Show just gets better and better. Show gets easier and easier. It's always tough. No matter where you start, it's tough when you start. I've just discovered you've been doing your show for 2 years, which means it's going to be a reasonably relaxed process for you, even though you're in the John Hirsch, which is enormous.
Yeah, but every time
and you have to
open,
command it.
every time you open a Fringe, like every city you get to, you're a bit fractious.
Yeah.
I mean, reviews sound like they don't mean that much anymore, but
They
they
don't.
used to.
Yeah.
So, like, you're just building up. And a lot of the populaces of these towns were slavish to, I got 4 stars in Sea View, 5 stars in the Edmonton Sun, but 2 stars in the Journal, and then everything dies. And, you can get, in Edinburgh, I got 2, 3, 4, and 5-star reviews for Promise and Promiscuity. But then, and it's so pivotal, these big ones, they used to be. And also, I always have too many props. This fine man has given me a throne, obviously. I've got a throne, I have a bench, so I have to run around and get all that stuff. So my brain is a bit, and you only get, because I've been very relaxed in New Zealand, none of this 15 minutes in, 15 minutes out sort of stuff that we have to do. So I've been, luxuriating in the time that I have.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to get back into that.
Well, everything in New Zealand is 15 minutes apart, right?
No, it's not like Canada, but it's the same size as the UK, but it's long and spread out.
Mm.
So, takes 12 hours to drive the length of one island.
Speaking of press, it's worse than that actually, because the trouble is, a good review doesn't make you, but a bad review destroys you.
Still here now?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
And that's certainly the case. And yes. So a 5-star review, it doesn't sell you any tickets, but a 2-star review is still going to bury you. That's the ghastly situation.
Oh, that is.
That the media's kind of got us into.
But Jim
themselves into.
Jim Rolls doesn't get bad reviews.
Well, I've always done particularly well for reviews in this particular city.
In this city.
Yeah.
In this city, and generally across the way, but more so in Winnipeg than anywhere else. I think I've had 8 5-star reviews from the Free Press, 7 from CBC.
I've never had 5 stars from the Free Press. Oh, no,
Okay.
that's not true. I got 5.5 stars once because there was a typo in the paper. It was supposed to be 4.5, but I was like 5.5 stars from the Free Press. I was like, what? I did get 5 stars from CBC. I haven't had that many. I got Global, The Sun. Colin loves me. But I've had 2 stars from the Journal.
I remember that day.
Yeah.
You came into the pub
and
you said it, and then what happened? Then they just Penny. It was when things go badly, other things go wrong.
Yeah.
So she's just told us that she got 2-star review. It's shit. We all know it's shit. And she stands up and knocks over a tray.
No, a woman. I didn't stand up. She just spilled it on me. The waitress came. She had 4 pints on a tray. I got 2 stars, and it was like all over me. And so remember, we can still remember it. That was 2008.
Yeah. Anyway, I remember that awful moment. It was awful because Penny's just standing there like what else can possibly go wrong? Dripping in beer and ice, whatever. Yeah. I think you were picking ice at yourself.
2017, I got car doored about 2 hours before I opened. And I opened it like midnight on a Thursday and then got 3 stars. So that was a cornucopia of shit. That's for sure.
That's one of the great advantages of doing the Fringe tour is that in the end your luck evens out because there's some terrible things happen the way you just get unlucky with a review.
Yeah. But then you get 5.5 stars.
Yeah,
and you can add
and
that
then
on.
everything's yes, but it really is that. That's one of the great advantages of doing the whole tour. So you get your one city, your venue's awful, your time slots are awful, but it will gradually even out as the time goes on, and you will get the luck back that you were that wasn't coming your way.
I feel very lucky this year. I have quite good times. It's very big, yes, but I wanted a venue that had great sound and lights because I have lots of different. Mine is a brand new show in the style of a Shakespeare, so there's supernatural elements and witches, and and it's a musical, so I wanted really good sound for the singing and stuff like that. So the John Hirsch is going to be amazing.
Yes, I think I saw your opening of Promise and Promiscuity. Was that the first time you'd ever done it?
No, I'd only done it 5 times before that. Oh, and then I did Regina, the town that rhymes with fun. You said something to me that I don't know. You said, I think it could be longer about Promise and Promiscuity. And I was like, no one said that before.
It was all packed in. Oh, yeah.
It was 67 minutes.
My name's Jem, and I'm intelligent, apparently.
There you go.
It was obviously true. Everything was crammed together. It wasn't, there's nothing in it that shouldn't have been in it. And it was too fast for its own good.
Oh, well, so, I see. I thought that was a compliment.
It wasn't. It was absolutely a compliment. And I hope what I just said was compliment as well. But now you've gone down.
Slow down. That sounded like slow down.
No.
It
just kept coming.
But that is my number one note.
You see shows where people just drag one idea out for a long time. You're on to the next idea already.
Penny, this is your one note is what?
One note? Oh, well, yeah. I thought you meant you one note. But yes, my continual note is slow down.
You're not Keir Cutler. You just don't have one note.
Wow.
No one ever told me to slow
You'll
down.
never listen to this.
Yeah. It's not true.
You'll never listen to this. It's fine.
If I mention amphetamines, people wince. Oh, Jem, you shouldn't take amphetamines.
Right. Yeah. No, you don't need that.
But you should slow down. That's your...
A little bit. Especially with the New Zealand accent, if you're talking really fast and people find it very hard to understand what you're saying.
Okay. So they're not saying this show, which is 90 minutes, should be longer.
But you know what? Because I'm paranoid about length, I ask everybody, is it too long? And everybody has said no. So that's good. Because, it's a commitment in a Fringe, 90 minutes. But again, I've been luxurious. The thing is, too, I've been touring around New Zealand, doing lots of one-off seasons. And then, 90 minutes, you want value for money. Like in New Zealand, you can charge a lot more. I think Winnipeg is too cheap. I think that the theatre socialism that is the Fringe tour is delightful. Mm-hmm. We get much cheaper venues than you get for one. Like I just did a tour in Australia, and a lot of venues wanted $3,000 for one night, or $2,500 for one night. Yeah. But in New Zealand, they charge $39.50, that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. And so, you feel like you want to give a bit more value for money, but then it changes on this tour, so it's going to be interesting. This is the first time I've done this show outside of New Zealand.
But also, if you're just doing a theatre show in a town, it's the only thing they're going to see that evening.
Exactly.
So that's the centerpiece of the evening. So in a sense, more money, certainly more time.
Yeah.
In a sense, if for a night out, is an hour's show actually enough? Yeah. Along a Fringe festival, different ball game entirely.
Exactly. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's not like here where somebody's got 5 other shows they're trying to get to.
I just talked to one Fringe performer who said that he used to just come for a while, and he peaked at 97 shows. I'm like, how do you even take it all in? Just running from one to the other.
I can watch about 3 shows in a day, and then I feel like I want to throw up.
I've done 5.
I can't. Then I feel like I'm just kind of, eating at the buffet, and I'm just eating and eating and eating and eating and eating.
Because what we have to do is when we have a day off, because that's what I love about we call it the family, which is the Fringe family, which is slightly twee but yet very fair. We support each other. Yeah. Like doing other ones like Edinburgh, Adelaide, there's nowhere near the same collegiality because there's so many shows. But so I'll see 5 shows in a day because I have to go and see all my friends, that sort of thing. You know, and sometimes there's shows aren't great, but you have to go and see them.
And and the thing is, if you're seeing 4 shows in a day, the last one needs to be a comedy. You know, totally. By the time you get there, you want to start off with the couple that might actually involve some serious thought or some serious understanding.
I did fall asleep in Sound and Fury in the front row once, and Richard was like, "The front row." Did you have to? I was trying to be supportive, but I was tired.
I once did a list of 15 during one tour. 15 Fringe shows. I had good Fringe shows. I had yawned during whilst the performer was looking at me. And there were 50. and I was enjoying all of these shows. It's just shattering. What we go through is shattering. Yeah. You're constantly exhausted. You know. You're 5 meals behind permanently. That
was one thing I really liked about having to wear masks was that nobody could see what was happening with your mouth, your face. You know what I mean? You could be frowning. You could be like, and person really couldn't tell.
Yeah, you don't want me sitting in your front row because I'm just looking at
he's just going to fall asleep. But I have
there's bitch face as well.
There's 3 kinds of shows for me to go see. Like there's the ones that I want to go see, and then there's the ones by my friends that I want to go see, and then there's the ones by my friends that I don't want to go see, but I know they're going to notice if I don't go.
Yeah,
and I know it's going to be terrible.
Yeah,
and I mean I kind of, 25% of it is wanting to be supportive, and the other 75% is just that I know that they're going to know that I wasn't there.
The other thing, of course, that I think there's a malaise the world over is that people think that their opinion is fact. Like without subjectivity, we'd all be watching the same thing and it would be very tedious. I find sometimes, sometimes there are just objectively bad shows that they haven't done the work. It's like badly performed, all that sort of stuff. But so often people think, they say that's a bad show when actually other people love it. Like I don't like Hamilton. I don't like Wicked. Hamilton was very the women are only virgins or whores. The guy sings a song, I don't know how to say no to this. I'm like, oh no, my dick fell into the lady. Just stuff like that. I'm like, this is bullshit. But quite a few people like Hamilton. So it's not a bad show. I just don't like it. So I think that's something to remember on Fringe as well, that, just because someone hates it doesn't mean you will. But obviously sometimes it does.
But this has been one of the problems with Fringe getting so big is that there's so many, and especially in a place like Winnipeg, there's a certain, our audience is not huge. So you've got, this many people trying to see this many shows. And I don't know if it's so much here. I know that other places, I feel like maybe other places are a little bit more, the audiences are more live or die on the reviews because people say to themselves, I don't want to waste my time.
It used to be like that here. It really did. So it's interesting.
Maybe it is. I don't know.
It used to be, but I haven't been here for 8 years.
I was told that Toronto was more like that.
I mean,
Toronto's a different ballgame. So it's a different kind of festival. It's far more insular in the sense it's the Toronto theatre community going to see themselves.
Yes.
The quality of acting is higher than anywhere else, and people are more likely to take artistic risks than they used to. The thing about the Fringe tour is the Fringe is not as fringy as everyone thinks it is. There's some easy money being made, and there's an awful lot of people playing safe and finding ways to not actually write a show. And in Toronto, people are far more likely to do it for artistic reasons.
Right.
And here, I think an awful lot of people taking risks are actually going to be the locals because they're not doing it for the money. They're doing it for the they're doing it in a sense for the fun and the artistic challenge. Lots of the locals will say.
But locals do that everywhere. Locals do that everywhere.
Yeah, and some places less than others, not in every city. I mean, and in Toronto, in a sense, people are looking for work. So
exactly.
And it will find the work. You can get work in theatre from costume designer, particularly from acting, because the booking agents who matter will go and see shows.
But it's such a star fucker. They go and see the locals. It's very hard to try and break in from the outside. Also, the Toronto Fringe has the most ridiculous rules. Like, I hate how they're just not artist friendly. And I've done it 3 times. Once went really well. 2 wasn't great. I got 3 stars in Now Magazine every single time. And that did affect me. But I just can't be bothered trying to fight with an administration that isn't putting artists first.
I mean, do you think that part of that is the fact that Fringe is lottery and it's not curated, and so it's kind of like, well, somebody else will, if Penny Ashton doesn't like it, somebody else will take her place.
There are people that want to be in it. They don't give a shit about me.
That's what I mean. Like, it's, but that's the whole thing. Is it's they're kind of trying to run it big picture, and they don't really care about individual artists.
Things like they force you to have a stage manager there, even though this show is quite complicated, and I would. But previously, like Hot Pink Bits had, I don't know, 20 cues in it, and I said, "Are your texts not good enough?" They liked that. They're like, "We have world-class text." I'm like, "Well, how come I've done Edinburgh, Adelaide, all over the world, and I haven't had to have a stage manager, but apparently your people can't cope with it." Just stuff like that.
I hear that one's a lot more complicated now that it's run by the Thailand people.
What?
It's the Facebook joke from your Facebook.
Oh, I see. Sorry, throwback. Yeah.
Well, I've never actually used a stage manager in Toronto because I just kind of wriggled off that.
Yeah, well, I did for a few years.
Hook.
Yeah,
and
I actually refused. I was like, I'm coming from New Zealand. Of course, I'm not going to do that.
And they, but also I just say that the Toronto audience, you can say it's interesting when they go and see themselves, but they're up for it, and they I've seen crazy shows that in various other fringes would have trouble, and in Toronto people they get it. If you're original in Toronto, they know you're original because they know their theatre really well.
Was a performance.
So in a sense, it's the most theatre literate audience you're going to find.
There was a performance art couple that toured in 2008, and they died everywhere. But it was the sort of thing that the star system cannot. That's the thing. The star system sometimes is so restrictive. I don't know if you remember them. They were from Scotland, I think, and they did this crazy show. And Saskatoon was like, "We hate this. We don't know what's going on." And I was like, I would have given them 5 stars for performance, but like 2 stars for content. So stuff like that doesn't work. The other thing that's interesting about the Canadian fringes, as opposed to like Edinburgh, particularly Edinburgh gets like 2 million tourists to Edinburgh. There's only 400,000 people that live there or something like that. So that's why they sell so many tickets, because, and they've got 5,000 shows now, which is insane.
Yeah.
Like, how is it 300 here?
It's much less than 300. It's not 150, is it?
Oh, is it?
That's a great question. We'll get one of our production people to look that up.
I think Edmonton got 300, didn't it?
Anyway, they're all smaller after the pandemic.
Right,
I'm not sure that even Edmonton got over 200 before the pandemic. Maybe
definitely not. Definitely
not.
With BYOVs.
But anyway, whatever it is, you could lots of the Canadian fringes, you could drop them in the Edinburgh Fringe and spend a week trying to find them, because it's just so colossal. I mean, it's marvellous, and it's one of the best looking cities on earth. It goes completely gorgeously crazy for a month, and most people lose money.
Yeah.
So,
well, that's how many. That's no mean feat, is it?
Jane Austen. Jane Austen is. I mean, that's the thing. Like, I realize that derivative stuff can do well. 100%, which is where you base something on something else. The thing with that is that, when you tell a joke, you set it up and knock it down. But when you do that, the setup's already there. That's sort of the way with it. But I try to be original with it, but still I know that people love Jane Austen.
Yeah.
And I love Jane Austen.
We used to make money doing a poetry
and you don't want to
show.
lose money.
Yeah. Well, that's it. And when I did a poetry show, it didn't go too well.
Okay. Anyway, I did it. I did it for years, and we'd actually make a profit. We would make reasonable money, like $200 a week each profit. And we're surrounded by people losing with loads of talent, 5-star reviews, sell-out shows, and they were losing £5,000 a week.
Yeah.
And while we're just kind of making normal money enough to keep ourselves in pasties and beer, which is and bus fares. Yeah?
And this is how we met. We met on the streets in Edinburgh.
Roy Mile.
2004. We were
Pink
both
Stetson.
Wearing a pink hat. You just came up to me because of the hat.
No, because my name's Jem and I'm intelligent. I worked out who you were.
Huh? How'd you work out? From
your name was. Yeah.
Sorry, do you say that? My name's Jem and I'm intelligent.
It was Hot Pink.
I say that all the time. Every time I do something really obvious, that everyone could work out. I said, my name's Jem and I'm really intelligent.
You hadn't seen my show advertised.
I've not seen your show, but I think I knew your name because at the time I was a complete obsessive for global performance poetry, and I knew who people were, I knew the names of slam winners from the States, all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And if any of those people, those names are around, I would hunt them down.
Right.
And and as soon as somebody walked into a room, I would know who they were.
And I was
kind of obsessively fascinated with the whole media, which I've now kind of left behind.
You were just a little 42-year-old kid.
Yeah. I just knew the game.
And you were doing a show with Rob G and Steve Larkin, weren't you?
No, I never did a show with Larkin.
Oh, I thought
and in Edinburgh then, Rob might have been in that show. I can't remember that week.
And Jenny Lindsay, I think.
Yeah, no, that would have been later.
Oh, okay.
And so 2004, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but anyway, I was like, "You're doing poetry, I'm doing poetry," and he went, "You should do the Canadian circuit." I was like, "What's the Canadian circuit?" And here we are.
Lots of people, my fault. Rob G, my fault. Steve Larkin, my fault.
21 years later.
Penny Ashton, my fault.
When was the last time you two saw each other?
2019.
I assume so.
Yeah. That was the last time I was here, and you're just always here.
Yeah, we went for dinner quite a few times in Steel Wheels, which is the great low rent Korean pizza joint that everybody hangs around in. And when I say low rent, it's really, really low.
You can go through the floor if you stand in the wrong place.
Yeah, and 50 weeks of the year it's inhabited by underage Korean teenagers having their first beers. Yeah. And for 2 weeks of the year it's full of us nutcases.
I'd never heard of bulgogi until I went to Steel Wheels.
Okay.
And the walls are covered in graffiti. There's cock and balls everywhere. Everywhere.
You have to watch where you sit when somebody takes a photo with you.
Yeah.
Or there's a certain shape next to your head. Because I have that photo. I've fallen for that one a couple of times. Anyway, it might be the most low rent place I've ever been to anywhere in Canada. Because it's really down there.
Yeah, it really. But they're lovely Korean people that run. Are they still?
Yeah, they're still there.
Wow, they have that hot sun. He was really hot.
But anywhere that low rent in England or Scotland would be dangerous, and you should probably leave immediately after you've walked in. Whereas this is not the case.
And it's right next to the Fringe grounds, and it's sort of like the King's Head, but not.
But
really
a gazillion miles from the King's Head.
But
it's where we all hang out.
Positioning.
Are you going to be in the King's Head later on?
Potentially.
Yeah.
Well, I've got my tech tonight.
Okay.
It's funny because you talk about time because you had said on Facebook you were looking for a chair, which we have just discussed, and I sent you a message and I said, I can get you this chair, and I looked and Messenger said that I had last talked to you in 2017 or 2018 or something.
2017.
And I just thought it's so funny when you message somebody and it's like, oh, I haven't talked to them in 8 years.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Because I sort of feel like because of Facebook. I kind of feel like I know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Because I see your stuff. And it's not like you just disappeared. It's like, oh, yeah, I can tell you what Penny Ashton's doing. This and that. And, Matt, I'll tell you what he's doing. He's drinking a beer somewhere.
Yeah, that's often the case.
85% of the time.
So is this the final joke?
Yeah.
So what is it? Is it Princess Penny?
Throne.
The Marquis of Penny?
No, Princess Rosa. And Queen Carlotta.
I think it's the Marquis of Penny.
Yeah. No.
Because the Queen is obviously Alex Dallas, who I was just staying with.
I see.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
Yeah, I'll be the Princess of the Fringe. I can take that.
Princess of Penny, I think.
Yeah. Yum.
Penny's it's a forgotten county somewhere in the south of France.
Oh, I see.
The wine's good.
I was going to say something, and then you talked, and now I can't remember what else.
Well, never happens to anyone who's sitting next to you.
I know.
I told you.
I've remembered that Facebook, Meta keeps trying to fuck Facebook so much, change it constantly, not get your hacking back. But it is wonderful I've done Edinburgh, Adelaide, Perth, Canada. I tour constantly, and I know what everyone's doing because of Facebook. And so it's just stop trying to kill it, Meta.
But this is, it's just a big company that's trying to make money.
Yes,
they don't.
They've forgotten about customer service entirely.
Yeah, but they don't. But this is what I'm saying. Is it's like what I was saying about Fringe. They don't care because if you don't use it, somebody else will, right?
Except they've lost people in droves. They have lost people. So many people aren't on Facebook anymore.
But they don't care.
I don't know. Because I'm an advertiser. I spend a lot of money on here, and then they don't give a shit about me.
No, because I just.
And I know it's because I've spent $7,000 in the whole time I've been on Facebook. As opposed to McDonald's that spunks that away every week.
Have you spent money on Facebook for here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the thing about anything that's run by AI and algorithm and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
They don't sort of. It's not a person looking at that who'd say, oh, I better make this a better user experience so that then people will stay, and then this will happen, and this and this. It's the bots.
Yeah, like
running
I've got
things
my
now.
picture, there's some tits involved.
Yeah.
And like Facebook's like, oh, these people, men, are clicking on the picture, so we're going to keep showing it to them. But my core audience is women 45 plus. So it's like
okay.
men like it too.
So
But
you're
yes.
paying for the perverts.
I'm paying for the clicks on my tits.
Yeah.
That's a poem. There you go.
doesn't
You can
rhyme.
have that. Clicks on my tits.
I better
Assonance,
I better
imperfect
cycle
rhyme.
back. I better cycle back around to this. The show is The Tempestuous, a shrewd new comedy by Will Shakespeare and Penny Ashton, and that is happening at the John Hirsch Main Stage. Opens on. Still don't know what that is.
Why do you not know what that is? Do people
Because
not know the
it's
07 is-
16.07.
Yeah.
To me, that's like, is it 407? Like, what does that mean?
Right.
Um,
16th of the 7th.
Yeah,
yours is
I've
fine.
gone for this,
Yours is fine.
Thursday thing.
They're both on
Yeah.
the. Yours is on the
It's to
16th.
make it fit. It's to
Penny
make it fit.
Ashton and her indecipherable code.
It's always.
You
I've
just
always
make
done
it
that.
small.
I've always
Right.
done that.
Okay, right.
It's just
I'm
me.
confused.
It's not.
I'm confused.
Well, that's what that's for.
It's me.
QR code.
Yours is fine. It's great. It's just me because I'm neurodivergent.
Right.
Are you going to read your own thing there? You look like
No,
staring at it.
I'm just.
I'll do it.
I haven't actually properly.
You read
looked,
his thing.
I'll
I
do
haven't
it.
actually properly looked at it so far.
Jim
I'm
Rolls.
seeing its imperfections.
I like this. The Cranky Pants Brit Master from Now magazine in Toronto. Jim Rolls Adventures in Canadian Car Parking Lots.
Parking.
Car parking
When we
lots.
say car parks, Canadians say parking
Oh,
lots.
do they?
Yeah, at first I was calling it car parks, and then Bruce McPherson, who's a Fringe fanatic in
Right.
Vancouver, he said, we don't call them car parks.
Oh,
We call them
okay.
parking. So I had to go, basically the last
Yeah.
days before the festivals went to print.
Oh, close.
I had to change, yes, I was really close. So then I got a list of 5-star reviews.
He's at the Planetarium. Opens Thursday at 7:45. Has 7 shows. 7 shows.
7 shows.
I've got 8 shows.
I
but that might just dilute
and
my
how big-
audience because I'm in a
and-
giant space.
And how big's your venue, Penny?
Is it?
It's quite
350?
large.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's,
350?
Is it?
350?
I might not. It might not be.
But
I don't know.
It might be. I think it might be. It's very-
I've never sold 200.
It's very big.
Anyway,
I have.
I know.
There you go.
There you go.
What a,
I like how you
I
said
was gonna say
Toronto.
something
I
else.
like how you said Toronto.
I
Do your Canadian accent. You have a Canadian
Toronto. Hey, Kelly. How are you doing, eh?
Is
We're
that
having a
Canadian?
lovely time here in Winnipeg.
I
Yeah,
love
a little bit.
Really?
Yeah, it's a little bit. It's on the way to
Okay.
Midwest.
I've not heard that one.
Yeah.
it.
Ready?
Yeah.
No, I can't really do your accent that well.
do
It's
your
not bad.
do your Canadian accent, John.
I'm not even going to try because Toronto.
I heard you say Toronto
Toronto.
earlier.
Yeah. So I can say that.
Here we go. Do your New Zealand accents.
It's not happening. If you can't do them, don't do them.
If you can't
Go
do
to
them,
Scotland and try doing a Scottish accent
Yeah.
when you can't. It's not going to go well.
No,
Oh,
no.
yeah.
Some people have tried that.
Yeah, I haven't.
Yes, some famous drag.
it
queens.
is funny. There's so many actors that just do flawless. Lots of Brits and Aussies who do flawless American accents, and I like the ones who just step off. They step off the set and then they just got their regular normal accent again.
Yeah, because we're
opposed-
fed on so much American television, so we hear that I can do like a New York one that's not bad. Hello, I was talking to someone from New York, and they were like, "Where are you from?" And I was like, "Queens." Totally. Yeah, I mean, like I'm a character actress and I'm a voice actor.
You know who does not a good American accent is Anthony LaPaglia.
Oh yeah.
He does.
Australian. Yeah,
He does a bad kind of a lazy.
I think I heard that recently. I was
Growly-
like, what is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's one of those guys who actually, when he was done doing whatever he was doing here, like Simon Baker, there's a few guys who just went back. They just went back and
To
they started
Australia,
doing
yeah.
Australian movies, which I thought was kind of interesting and good because
Because Simon Baker was in the one on Netflix. Oh, it's really good. This is a good story. A really good one on Netflix.
yeah.
Never mind.
What was it?
It's-
A movie, a TV
It
show?
was a TV series based on this fantastic book. See, this menopausal brain fog is real.
Was it
so annoying?
Was it the financial crisis one?
No. It's like Trent
Oh.
Dalton wrote a book. That's going to annoy me. Anyway, it's really good. It's really good.
How is menopause going?
Yeah, I did it. That's what I did. That was my pandemic
Project?
project. I did showy ovaries because an ultrasound technician once told me I had showy ovaries. So it's like, what are they jazz handing in there?
Nice.
About menopause. So I've interviewed 70 women and trans individuals because trans men go through menopause and male puberty at the same time.
Wow.
Doesn't that sound like a lot?
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. Because their estrogen is depleting while the testosterone takes over. How surprising. The brain fog is definitely really kicking in, and just forgetting people's names. You're like, oh, that guy that was in the thing with that woman that was married to the woman that was in the Gilded Age, who was in, that sort of thing. It's really frustrating. I've had hot blushes, like not pissing sweat or anything, but yeah, it's I'm 51, which is the average age for it. Absolutely. So yeah, who knows?
We're talking about menopause. We finally shut him up.
I'm communing with the camera.
He's making love to the lens. The thing I find that's been really good though in the last last 4 or 5 years is that menopause information has exploded. Because Generation X women got to this point and went, why has no one told us any of this? Menopausal women are one of the highest groups of suicide because you can get depression, all this sort of stuff. People didn't know it was because of menopause. And so knowledge is power. You have to know about it, and then you can find, it just knowing that this is what it is, and you're not losing your mind. Like I would be thinking I was getting dementia for getting all this shit,
Well, and I think that's one of the great things about the internet. I mean, you're talking about how Facebook is good. It has its problems, but it's good in that you can connect with people. But the internet is it's full of Nazis, sure, but it's great that you can find out all this information that you maybe wouldn't have had access to before, also especially if it's, I tell this story, but like when I went through puberty when I was 12 or whatever, I got something called gynecomastia, and that's where you grow breasts.
Right.
Yeah. And
sorry,
I didn't.
Titties.
It's
Disrespectful.
fine. It's fine.
Disrespectful.
No,
Titties.
you can say titties. Titties is fine. And I didn't do anything about it until I was 19 because I was so embarrassed and I didn't want to talk to anybody about it. So I wore button-up shirts like that, and I kind of hunched over like this, and I sort of didn't want to. We know what he's hiding under there, but I keep getting ads for these shirts on Facebook. The Shaper Love, which is this men's tank top, which goes underneath, which like makes you look like less
that you've got abs and shit.
Pudgy, yeah.
Right.
I don't know why it's targeted me, but anyway. But yeah, so 19, I finally went to my doctor and I sheepishly asked him about it. He said, "Oh yeah, that's this. No big deal. I'll send you to the surgeon." And then they sent me for surgery. I had a double mastectomy.
Wow.
But that was in 1989. And now, honest to God, like when you know how when you type stuff into Google and it suggests things? When you type up like, why do I have like breasts is like one of the first top 5 things. So, I mean, as a teenager, if I was born later, I would have been able to figure it out.
Yeah,
and then I would have been able to do something about it. So to me, like in terms of that, the health stuff, the mental health stuff, all that kind of stuff, people finding other people like them.
I started taking epilepsy medication when I was 16. It made me hungry, and I kept putting on weight, and I couldn't lose it. I was dieting. I was at Jenny Craig. I was exercising, and I didn't know until I was 32 that it was because of the pills. Because one day I typed Tegretol weight gain into Google, and all this stuff came up, and I was like, so from 16 to 32, slightly formative years, quite fucked up about the weight thing still. And because no one told me that when they prescribed it for me. Yeah. So Google your meds.
Did you take something else after that?
Yeah, something called lamotrigine, which now means I can't take HRT. Fun. Epilepsy, the gift that keets on giving. Really is. But I haven't had a seizure for 30 years. I'm very lucky, isn't it?
You are.
Yeah, absolutely.
When was the last time you had a seizure? Yeah.
On stage last?
I've never had a seizure of any kind. I'm curiously healthy.
Yeah.
And the pandemic cured my gout. If we're going to talk about medical conditions, gout doesn't go. I was taking pills. I stopped taking the pills because I realised the gout had gone Indian diet. Basically living on veg. No, not just a little bit of processed food. No processed food.
Yeah.
To clean my blood out. I suspect if I spent a year living in the West, it would
come back.
Yeah.
Matt's on allopurinol for gout. He got it during the pandemic.
Okay, yeah.
We did drink a fair bit. Yeah, I think you have shared.
Yeah, we
notes.
did share information with him. But anyway, so I once you start taking this drug, you take it every day for the rest of your life, and I stopped.
Yeah, wow.
Because my blood had cleaned out. Yeah.
I've got 5 chronic conditions, but I'm all right.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I've got currently none.
Yeah, I mean that's impressive. You're not
I'm
taking
12 years older than you.
Yeah.
You're getting better with age, Jim.
No,
I keep adding one every 10
I'm not
years.
sure about that.
Yeah.
You know,
Asthma.
I've got skin falling off my face, which I'm trying not to pick because we're on camera. You know.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Let's go for dinner, and I will shed all over you.
Slough it out.
I will shed all over your
that's
noodles.
Oh.
I will shed all over your noodles.
I'll be like, yeah, you did. Is that Parmesan cheese or is that Jim's face?
Right.
Put that in your show.
No.
That reminds me of when I was a teenager. There were all the leper jokes.
Oh yes,
yeah.
And baby jokes. The baby jokes?
Yeah, the dead baby.
Yeah.
I'm older than you. I remember Biafran jokes. And
jokes.
Mm.
Yeah, I guess
the Ethiopian with the famine and stuff. Why are you taking us into this inappropriate?
It's funny because I was thinking about how when I was in elementary school, grammar school, how I was afraid of getting beat up all the time, and I didn't really get beat up, but like other kids were getting beat up, and it wasn't like. Was school a little bit violent when
kids
you were
are
young?
Assholes? Yeah,
I feel like it's less bad now, though. I feel like there's like zero tolerance kind of. I feel like you get kicked out of school.
But you were modeled that behavior by the teachers, right? Did you have corporal punishment?
It had just finished when I was.
Well, I was at school. There was still corporal punishment. Yeah. So like the boys are getting the.
I think they still had that, but I don't the strap. Yeah. But I don't think they'd used it. But I think it hung. I don't remember anybody getting it, but I remember it sort of hung in the principal's office.
We didn't have it we went to an all-girls high school, but at primary school, and there was a couple of boys that were just constantly naughty. So that, then they learned that violence is the way to deal with that. And then how surprising that they're not that well adjusted when they go out into the world, and then it was banned in New Zealand. So
my school, I went to a hard comprehensive on a hard council estate. it was tough. A number of people from my class and my year went to jail.
Yeah,
they were in jail by the time they were 20. So it was the only hard council estate for miles. So all the bad reputation landed there. That's not where we lived, but that's where the school was. And it was heavy. I was thinking the other day, we once played a rugby match against Charterhouse.
Right.
Okay, which is a very posh public school.
Mm.
Genesis went to Charterhouse.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, we just before the game, posh public school, they had a war cry, which is basically a hacker.
Yeah, right.
We were really impressed, but the thing was, we had a reputation of being a bunch of psychopaths because we were from the hard council estate. So basically, we've got this seriously tough council, properly trained public school team, and the psychos. And 2 of our team were psycho convicts in the making, without question. And the game was, I don't know how much you know about rugby. It was 3-3. Which is an incredible score for
it's a very strong one, just drop kicks.
Yeah, and because we were just we were with reasonable reason very intimidated by the idea of the other, because they had the war cry and were proper, and we were the nutters.
And is this when a try was 3 points?
Yeah.
Okay, which is now it's 4 points.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, I can't even remember.
We were from countries.
I never got the ball anyway.
Yes.
No.
I was on the right wing. So the idea that 5 teenagers are going to pass successfully to each other. If I wanted the ball, I had to go basically into the middle of the ruck to find it, which I
obviously
think did in the end.
Quite a big deal in my country.
Yeah.
Quite a big deal. So I know about it, but don't care.
Yeah, anyway, we're 3-3 at school.
Yeah. Wow.
Are you still athletic, Jim? What do you do for?
I do poetry shows.
Yeah, well, you put in some energy.
I've been on a strawberry farm in Lydiat, Manitoba for in Hidden Valley outside Beausejour for 2 weeks. And I just realised when I was doing my show, the run through yesterday, I realised I'm not fit. I've just basically sat on a veranda and I've gone for a mile, and I picked lots of gorgeous strawberries, 2 pounds a day.
Oh,
that's not really effort.
No.
So what I'm saying is I'm physically not quite strong enough for my own show, but I will be by Thursday. You know what I mean?
I've been doing 3 spin classes a week. Like my show, I make them progressively more physically demanding as I age. So well done me. 90 minutes. It's like sword fights, CPR, up and down, jumping around, Fosse dancing, all sorts of stuff.
There's a guy who's from, I want to say Montreal. Maybe his name is maybe Ottawa. Rob Teshka.
Yeah.
Does he do the one man
magic show?
Oh, I'm
No,
thinking the
that's-
wrong guy.
Yeah.
There was another guy. Sorry, hope he's not listening. There was a guy who did a one-man journey to the center of the earth, and that was,
I feel like I've heard
and
of
it was a silent show, and there was some narration, but he just killed himself for an hour. Like I was amazed,
like
at
Charlie
how-
Ross. Charlie Ross, mental on
Yeah.
stage.
Well, I had people after my show say, an actor sat me down and said, you do realise that no actor would ever let a director demand of them what you demand of yourself.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right.
And because basically, we'll say that, I don't know if you ever saw my shopping show, completely nuts for an hour. And I was running around. I got a chase scene in this show.
Right.
Yeah, I
go.
got impressed.
So
After
sword fight with
Peter,
myself.
Peter and Chris aren't here, so because they were the kings of the chase scenes. They had really good chase scenes in every show.
Right.
And anyway, a one-man chase scene.
I
you
want
have
to
a sword
know.
fight with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I want to know
Have you
why
got
you
two
were.
swords or just one.
Mm-mm, just one.
Right. Yeah.
I want to know why you were at a strawberry farm for 2 weeks.
Oh, because I'm really lucky. So I wasn't in Toronto Fringe, so I did a couple of shows in Kingston. But anyway, Wayne James was doing a show here called Control. I was in his. Anyway, I've just become mates with his over the year. So he's 75. He's running a farm, and he's 75, and he's with running a farm with a bad knee currently. Anyway, so and he I was going to stay with him last year, but I got into Toronto late. So so I've been there 4 times. So I know this farm really well. His dog Linus, this big, he's like wants to be a bear when it grows up. I saw a bear walk past across the field, where the exact spot where I had been 10 minutes before. A genuine brown bear,
probably looking for strawberries.
And the strawberries in the far corner of the field, they weren't there because the bear was eating them in the night.
I was at Sharon Nowlands, who's in Manitou Beach, which is in Saskatchewan, and it's one of only 3 inland salt lakes in the world.
Wow!
And it's more buoyant than the Dead Sea.
Really?
And it was crazy because you get in and I was with Christine Lesiak, and we were like, you don't have to doggy paddle. You just sort of go like this and you stay up. And the thing you have to fight is your legs go whoop, whoop. And there's like millions and millions of krill. And so you look down, it looks like tiny bits of seaweed, but it's krill just swimming all around you. It's like tiny prawns.
So you said this guy is 75. I was listening to your thing, but I was wondering about this. 75, your pal, running a strawberry farm.
Yeah.
Do you want to be running a strawberry farm when you're 75?
No, I don't. I think, there's quite a lot to be running a farm. Wayne would, he'd be working for 10 hours a day.
Yeah, there's a lot.
It's just always, you just get up in the morning. Well, what's my priority? And his priority is roguing the clover field. And then it's picking that.
Roguing the clover field.
There's 2 kinds of clover. So you only want one of them. So you have to pick out the other one. That's called roguing. I did, I would act like I know a lot more language than you, but I learned that word 2 weeks ago.
It doesn't matter when you learn it. You knew it and we didn't.
So what is your exit plan from this?
That's what I want to know. Yeah.
From this life.
Yeah.
No, I had no exit plan. Die on stage. Tommy Cooper. Die on stage.
Tommy Cooper.
Yeah, but on the other hand, I have got my amazing, not amazing, or something, plan for selling something for the first time ever, which is in a literary form that nobody has ever done.
And that
I'm
thing,
going to keep it. I'll tell you about it over lunch.
Okay.
If you do that thing, if that thing works, it's either going to be a spectacular failure, or it's going to make you a millionaire.
Well, it's not going to make you a millionaire, but I would just like to point out before we get carried away, and you start thinking that you'll be able to borrow money off me in 12 months' time. It is poetry. and we do know what happens in the world of poetry, and even to really, really good poets, we all know what happens. Nobody sells anything. Anything. And
I run poetry slams in New Zealand at WOMAD. Actually, I run the poetry slam at WOMAD, which is very cool. So things like that, but it's tricky. Mine.
So I have made a living as a poet for 25 years. Which nobody on earth basically does.
Well, yeah. I call myself like all of the things. Like I'm a cabaret performer, performance poet, voice artist, actor, writer. During the pandemic, one of my friends that runs the biggest professional theatre in New Zealand, which is probably like an MTC type thing, asked me to write and adapt a classic. And I thought it meant Brontes at first, and I was sad because that's very sad. It's all burning to death in an attic and misery. But I was like, I love Sense and Sensibility. So I wrote that and it went really well. I mean, and then I directed it last year for the first time. We had 5,500 people come and see it, which was very exciting.
Okay.
So then I'm like, maybe I'm thinking about doing Nicola Nickleby potentially next. So things like that maybe is something that's on my radar, or doing funerals. Oh, the other thing, and not just as a weird professional mourner, but running them. But I am a bit of a pussy, so I think I'll just be crying the whole time. But I was just in Australia and I did a talk to the Jane Austen Society of Australia. And the woman has been running that for 30 years. And she tours through Europe, takes tours of people to Jane Austen sites around Europe. And I was like, that could be something to do.
Around Europe?
Around,
where are the ones over the channel?
She does various different
Really?
writers.
Yeah.
Like, so she does actually Lucy Maud Montgomery, stuff like that. But yeah, Hampshire tours, and then she does Dickens tours and various things like that.
I come from Jane Austen country.
Yeah, Hampshire. I was thinking that just
I actually come from Surrey, but 1 mile from the Hampshire border is where I come from.
And it's beautiful there.
Yeah.
But
now you belong to the world.
They didn't have many hard council estates in Jane Austen. In the books, they don't really make it into the plot.
Yes, she was poor as a gentlewoman, but then that's the problem with Jane Austen. She couldn't earn her own money because that was unseemly. So she's at the whim of the men in her life. So thank God that doesn't happen to the same extent. It still does though. Housing insecurity for divorced and widows, etc., is way worse than other people, and that's what Sense and Sensibility is all about: dodging respiratory illnesses and housing insecurity. Sounds a lot like 2025.
Still relevant.
Yeah. How we going?
We're doing really well.
I'm getting hungry.
I feel like
we're doing really well. We're almost there though. So
The Tempestuous, a shrewd new comedy by Will Shakespeare and Penny Ashton. Venue 1 opens Wednesday night. A brand new story in the style of Shakespeare and a musical.
And that is at John Hirsch Main Stage. Penny Ashton is the only recipient of 5.5 stars from the Winnipeg Food Prize.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, of course, Jim Rolls' Adventures in Canadian Parking Lots. Please say this with your Canadian accent.
Me, which one?
Adventures in Canadian Parking.
Adventures in Canadian Parking Lots.
I love it.
Adventures in Canadian Parking Lots.
Adventures in Canadian
The
Parking
worst
Lots.
title I could think of.
It's not.
I knew I'd grow into it.
That is over at the Planetarium. Who do you want to go see while you're here?
On Penny's show, of course. There's a bunch of shows I want to see.
Yeah.
And Ryan Gladson's got a new show, The Routine, which is Joylyn Secunda, yeah? Anyway, she's great. I don't even know if she's been here before. And there's a clown from Vancouver, yeah? Well worth it.
I worked with Eleanor when she went to Edinburgh, Plan V. So I will go and see that because I designed her posters when she went to Edinburgh.
And she hasn't been here in a while.
No, she hasn't. And I tried to coach her through the fact that Edinburgh is really hard.
Yeah.
It's really hard, but no one can be prepared for how hard Edinburgh is. You go, why are you going? Why? People aren't expecting that from me. I'm like, why? Why do you want to go? What do you want to achieve? Because it's really hard. But I have to go and see her. And there's this, Potato King, because that's done very well. And he's a buddy too. So yeah. And obviously Jim's show. Yeah, same thing. Like, all of my I'm so happy to see all of my friends.
There definitely are some local shows I want to go and see, but I can't remember the name.
He's doing better. I haven't looked at the program even.
Really? Okay.
No.
Right. Anyway, I've got
here.
Well, I don't know. I've got people, people are friends from this city, and I've never seen their show.
Dude.
And I'm not even going to mention the name.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
They don't want you there anyway. You're just going to be sitting in the front row yawning.
I'm going to be sitting in the back row with the same expression on my face for an hour.
Yeah.
That's what will happen.
I'm doing the big stupid improv show too because that's what I've been doing for 25 years as well. Improv.
What time is it in New Zealand?
I haven't got my head around that.
What's Matt doing right now?
He will be at work. No, Tuesday is because he's a realtor now. Tuesdays and Wednesdays is his day off. It'll be something like 10 o'clock in the morning or 9 o'clock.
So probably having a beer.
He'll be having a cup of tea.
Is he into the cricket?
Yeah. Oh no, not hugely, but he might be watching.
We just won, by the way.
You won what? The Ashes?
No, we just beat India.
Oh, is that just a test series?
Yeah, no,
right.
one.
A one-day series.
No.
One
This
test.
conversation's going really bad.
That's
The third
it.
test of the series, we just beat
So
the Indians. It was really close.
So you're excited about winning one test.
I'm going to go back and watch
series.
it on YouTube. That's what I'm going to do next.
I used to play cricket. But
Thank you
shit,
so
it's
much for
tedious.
stopping by. I've got Jim Rose and Penny Ashton here. They're going to continue to argue about rugby, cricket, whatever.
I don't even give a shit about sport.
I want to do here's a good title in Canada. Teaching cricket as a foreign language.
Oh, yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah.
But no one cares.
Yeah.
Please.
But it's impossible to teach cricket for us.
You won't stop talking. Please stay tuned for more interviews. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Happy day.
Art will save us all.
Yes.